Thank you for being here. What we're going to do in the next 30 minutes, maybe something more, is to describe what we've done so far in implementing Appian and implementing an RPA solution. Let's call it a solution. The point is that we feel bots are not against human. I mean, we would like to have a company where bots take care of the ordinary and boring duties, and humans dedicate their attention, their focus to the tough part of the business. So let's start from the business, what we do as a company in Unione Fiduciaria. Let's talk about the company, first of all. By the way, as Ben said, I'm the CEO of the company. I joined the company 5 years ago, and previously I was in consultancy, not with KPMG, but I mean.
And Davide Macchi, Managing Director in KPMG Italy, and actually started to work with Appian since 2008, and now also with RPA tools and taking to the next stage.
Okay. Let's talk about the company, what we do as a company. In Italy, I'm sure that you know a lot of things typical of Italian culture, like Ferrari, mozzarella, mandolino, but there's something truly unique we have in Italy, and is the possibility to delegate the tax payment. Not only the payment by itself, but the overall process of paying taxes and being compliant with the tax duties, the tax obligation. And this is what we do. We are the largest tax agent in the country. We take care of the tax that our clients have requested to pay to the government. Not every type of tax, only the tax due on the capital gains they made with their investments. The company is a small company. We are around 200 people, but the overall amount of money that we manage from a tax perspective only is huge. We manage more than 20 billion euros of savings, basically savings. And this amount of money is spread over more than 250 banks on a global basis. So we have relationships with the largest bank on this planet. The air conditioning is killing me. And what we do as a business is divided into three parts. The first one is collecting data from those banks and put the data into our system. The second part is calculating taxes due on a monthly basis. And the third one is paying taxes. And we are responsible for this payment. It means that if we are late in paying taxes, we pay the fines, we pay the interest, not the clients. So we basically, the service that we sell is a safe position from a tax perspective to all of our clients. And by the way, I'm responsible of this overall process, from the data collection to the final payment of taxes. On an annual basis, we pay more than 250 million euros of taxes. But our revenues is less than half of the amount. So the risk we have is definitely higher than the revenues we have. And that's why, when I joined the company 5 years ago, we started to redesign the process within the company and started to identify a solution able to help the company reducing risk. But the process, the entire project, hold on a second, as I told you, started like 4 years ago in 2016. First of all, we started with a broad digitalization of our process, of our tasks. And then we started adopting Appian in 2016. And then a couple of years later, when we realized that Appian was exactly the right solution that we wanted to have, we started talking about process automation. And from the beginning, maybe March 2018, we started thinking a possible way to adopting an RPA platform within the company to do something very specific. Let me talk about this. By the end of every month, each month, we need to be super safe, super sure to have exactly the same amount of money in our system, exactly the same balance that the banks have in their system. So there's a complicated process of reconcile the accounts that takes a lot of time, and we wanted to see if it was possible to streamline and standardize this reconciliation process. And as I told you, we have a lot of accounts. As you can see, 16,000 accounts only for the cash management and other 15,000 for the securities. Securities like stocks, bonds, investment funds, and other. As I told you before, spread over more than 200 banks globally. A lot of documents, a lot of data, and a lot of risks. A lot of risk. But the process by itself is not a complicated process. Reconciliation is an easy process. You have simply to compare one number on one side with a different number on the other side. And that's why we thought it was easy, maybe not too easy, but easy enough to let the bot do it on our behalf. And this was the challenge. Yes. As I told you, the challenge was not simply reducing the cost, was not efficiency. The target, the purpose of this project is reducing risks. We have huge risks. I have huge risk in my position, and that's why the challenge was to find out a system to keep the balancing position, the balance aligned, the one we have inside the company and the one we have in the bank accounts. And we are working on it, but the approach by itself is going to be described by Davide.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Giovanni. So my daughter, my 6 years daughter, tell me every day, Dad, are robots talking with humans or not? Now I can say yes. So actually, we are not falling in romance, not yet. But of course, we can start to collaborate with robots. And what we found out in this specific use case is that automation works better if humans are in the loop. Automation by itself, let's say, is just to automate a small task, small pieces of work, but you don't have the safe and sound process as Giovanni was describing. So we are talking about account reconciliation, very complex, a lot of different category of funds investment that needs to be reconciled and calculation to be made that are always different based on different tax regulations. And if you ask to a robot, let's do that, it's not the right way to do it, because you are going to automate just a few percentage of the work done by the humans. What we have seen, and that's the approach that we are now following, it's a check and go approach. So we say, what about if we put human in the loop, so not just RPA, RPA talking with a human, and the orchestration layer will be Appian. So basically, our solution that we built with Unione Fiduciaria, but more in a partnership framework, not really a client and consulting company, but more a partnership to create a solution that stands still for a long time of period, is really to have Appian as the orchestration layer, like a digital glue of all different technology for automation. RPA is one of those, and it does all the mundane tasks, but really are the humans that kick off the processes, that actually manage business exception, and really can change the level of automation that we can achieve with this kind of solution. And now we are talking also to with the same approach, so check and go, to embed some artificial intelligence to automate more and more of this use case. So that's the approach that we follow with Unione Fiduciaria. It's very, very easy. I mean, we want to tackle down the issue, the problem with this process in short pieces. So not a long waterfall project, but really in an agile way. But it's not only a buzzword to say agile, it's really the approach that we follow in everything we do. Also, when we try to design a solution, we don't go straight forward for that, but we prefer to make some experiment, try to combine all these technologies. So that's why we started with an awareness workshop. We then had a scouting of the technologies that we can use. We found out that for this specific use case, we need to leverage a couple of technologies. So one was RPA, the other one is Appian, and another one will be artificial intelligence for computer vision in the future. We built together with Unione Fiduciaria what we call a minimum viable product, something that is already working. They can see the result, and people can try, provide feedback, and this is a very short time. And then we start to measure the benefit. So every initiative that we do, we always do a benefit assessment, like a business case, not a very complex one. I mean, we don't have to calculate a return on investment for 5 years, 3 years, but a simple one. And as Giovanni was saying, it's important, this process from different perspectives, not only from the consumption of full-time equivalent, because it requires a lot of people, but Unione is not a very large company. They don't have thousands of back office workers, but it's more even important that the process is safe, the data are reliable, and everyone can trust what they are doing. So we measure those benefits, quantitative and qualitative. We came out with a business case, and then we started with the solution implementation. So the next stage will be also start to embed, let's say, in Unione Fiduciaria, a center of excellence or a group of people that will continue to work on the evolution of this solution, embedding new technologies, because, of course, our main target is to increase the level of automation, but at the same time also to increase the level of safety of this process. So now we have, actually, there were other people that were participating in the project. They are not here in San Diego, but we are going to listen to their word.
The financial landscape is changing while financial institutions are pursuing new business approaches. In this context, Unione Fiduciaria has a significant need to reinvent itself while also driving improvements in efficiency. Managing business processes effectively was one of the most difficult challenges for our management team. One of the digital transformation pillars is digitizing operation and automating processes. Digital transformation leaders can transform business processes using no code and an integrated set of technology that coordinate people and machines. Appian allows us to manage the reinvention of existing business processes and the creation of new innovative ones in support of both digitalization and digital transformation efforts. Improve the business outcome of all activities, not only structured and repeatable business processes. Continuously track and order the interaction among processes, participants, thereby harmonically integrating the processes. Appian allows our business analysts, users, and developers to collaborate on the improvement and transformation of business processes, all in one platform. Implementing business activity monitoring and complex event processing realize a continuous process improvement using agile methodologies. Currently, we are defining a new level of automation, whereby humans and robots work hand in hand, spreading across the organization business value. This array of approaches and technology is shaping our organization, our business, our services.
Hi everybody. Since the last 5 years, the way innovation and technologies are affecting how we daily work is stunning. This radical shift and the introducing of agile methodologies are pushing companies in being faster and more adaptive. They should be ready to change and welcome new trends, new software, and a completely new way to work. As a project leader for digital transformation in Unione Fiduciaria, I was responsible for the pilot project that introduced Appian in the company in 2016. This pilot project was just the beginning of a learning journey that made us develop more than 20 applications in less than 3 years and let us experimenting a totally new way to approach process reinvention and IT development. In particular, due to the introduction of Appian, we started to co-design. Thanks to user weekly meetings, we analyze our processes and develop our application with final user. IT and business for the first time are working together to achieve a common goal. Rapid prototyping. Thanks to low-code platform provided by Appian, we are able to modify our application in real time with business users and to cope any unexpected event. Working this way, we are achieving some important goals. First of all, we are bringing a cultural impact inside the company, fostering collaboration and increasing satisfaction among the project team. Have more control on project timelines and deadlines, reducing the time to release of our application. Make a digital ecosystem that includes all the newest technology available in the market, such as BPM, RPA, CRM, artificial intelligence, in order to build innovative and efficient processes.
Hello everybody, I am the application owner of Appian in Unione Fiduciaria. This is a new role for our society that I hold from about 2 years. As application owner, my job is to develop applications responding to business needs, support other developers and deploy their application in our production environment. I make sure that such applications satisfy the standards of development I defined for our applications in order to ensure high performances and easy maintenance. I have also the responsibility of keeping the site always available to users and continuously updated. Moreover, I quickly solved the system issues that may occur on our on-premise installation. Since Appian has many tools to integrate with other software, we use it also to make other systems communicate with each other and to store all our relevant business data in a central repository. Appian is central in our digital transformation process, so as application owner I can come in contact with other themes and tools of innovations, such as RPA and the content management system, just to make some examples. As application owner, I can see the huge impact that Appian has on our company, and how even quickly developed and simple applications can improve people work and collaboration. It's really satisfying to see how colleagues use and like to use the applications you designed, increasing their user experience and productivity.
Okay, so these are just few videos of people of Unione Fiduciaria we are working for, and we are working with them every day. We are adopting this new way to work that is really different from the way we used to work with them in the past. It's really agile. We define new roles in the organization, and we are doing what we were called rapid prototyping, check and go. And the output of this rapid prototyping is this kind of solution. As you can see here, the traditional process described by Giovanni before, it was all designed and all executed by humans. So we have document management activities for all the collection of the data from the different banks, different templates of balance, account statement, and other documents. People that were processing those data, doing a check of the balances and reporting. And all these people were focused only on these activities, but with no guidance of any system, without any assistance. So you can imagine how difficult can it be without having a clear process defined without have clear guidelines of what to do. So we came out with this solution, a new automated process, where we have robots that now are managing all the document management of this different category of balance sheet, the balance account from the different banks. We use Appian as the orchestration layer, so we kick off processes via Appian, but actually the real work is done by a robot on an RPA platform. Then some of the data processing is done by RPA technology, and it gives back the result to the human on Appian in forms of task, user input task. So this is to manage all the exception. If you are familiar with RPA technology, the number of business exceptions on those platforms is very high. Sometimes it's even higher than the number of the real automation. And actually now we can handle those exceptions to humans in a structured way. So they don't receive any email from the robots telling them, I have not been able to do this task, but they are receiving a task in Appian with all the information provided by the robot. And actually the robot is asking, can you provide this other information? Please help me do my job. That's how we say that now humans can talk with robots and the other way around. The human can enter those information and trigger a process on the RPA platform that can execute the task, and then the human can finally do the final check, what we call the 4 eyes check, as on the airplane, and at the end they have all the reporting with the records on Appian. So this is in 5 minutes what we built as a solution, and we actually have also a short video of the solution. So this is Appian. They are now starting the automatic document assignment process. So basically what they are doing, the human start to assign activities to be done by the robot, and actually the human starts to enter some first information. We are going also to automate this step using artificial intelligence and computer vision to extract all the information from this PDF file that are the balance sheet from the different bank for the different account. So now the human is filling in the user form in Appian with all the information, and this will be needed for the robots to do all the automatic activities. So now the human is also doing some check, so is filling in some missing documents that the robot was not able to input. And now we will also see that the robot is going to do, this is an RPA platform that we use in Unione Fiduciaria, is going to enter this information in the system, in the legacy system, but as well also in Appian. So it will extract those information from the PDF and also from the data in Appian and enter those information to continue the process. So this is how it works, and of course, because we have a platform like Appian, we are able also to create reporting not only on the work done by the robot, but also by the human, and we can combine those data in a single view. So I will be very short on this because maybe it's too techy, but from a technical perspective, also from an architecture standpoint, it's a quite challenging project, but at the end of the day, the result is very robust. So because Appian is such an open platform, we were able also to integrate in different fashion with the RPA solution. So As I mentioned before, we are able now to create a unique data lake of information, both produced by the human and by the robot. And we are leveraging a unique database where we store all this information, so both for RPA and Appian as well. And from Appian, we kick off processes on the runtime resource. Runtime resource, for who is not familiar with RPA, are the computer of the robots. And actually, we can kick off processes done by RPA from Appian directly. And the overall architecture, it's all done with web service. So if tomorrow they are going to change that RPA solution, or we will find an artificial intelligence platform that can handle some of the work, we can switch that, because Appian allows us to be very, very flexible from that perspective. So I leave for the last slide to Giovanni for the benefits of this project.
Big summary. As I told you at the beginning, our target is to reduce risks. Let me put it this way. Risk is a delicate and an easy way to say that we are going to lose money, very likely. We don't want to lose money. We don't want to lose clients. And that's why we decided to have less makers and more checkers, more controls and less manual activities. No one will lose their job. It's probably the other way around. We're going to have, in the future, more clients, more activities, more services. We want to be in a super safe position when delivering those services. And that's why we adopted a solution, and I'm confident that this is the right way of combining technology and human factors.